Aspire Retire. I'm your host, Cheryl Nelson, and I am here with Ralph and Tim Short, along with Scott Earhart, all from Welcome Home Financial Partners. Guys, good to be back with you today. Always happy to be here. And today we are talking about income planning and why this is so important. This is something that all of us could do, and I probably need to do this a little bit better myself. So tell us, income planning, what is it and what does it entail?
Well, what I would say,
Go ahead.
basically what it entails is basically taking a look at what your numbers are, what you are spending money on, what your income's going to be, and then we kind of digest it and make you a picture that you can visualize what it's like in your retirement years.
What if you're somebody who does maybe a lot of freelance work and your income varies from year to year? A lot more people are doing gig jobs now and things like that. So how does somebody like that plan for retirement, especially if they don't have a 401k?
Well, the biggest piece to it is your budget, right? That's the whole crux of the whole matter is your budget, because most of the time that doesn't fluctuate as much as your income possibly could if you're an independent contractor or whatever the case may be. So that's the biggest piece to the income planning is you got to take a look at your expenses. A lot of people have never set a budget. I mean, how many times we've seen people come into the office and we ask them what their electric bill is and we kind of get crickets, right? So they don't know what their expenses are, and you've got to take into account all of your expenses when you're getting close to retirement and in retirement.
Oh gosh, yeah, because my electric bill, I just know it kind of fluctuates a little bit and little by little. But you're right, a lot of people don't have that written down budget because we just kind of wing it, and that's tough to do as you get older.
But I think one thing too, to answer your question about people that do not have a steady income and things like that as independent contractors, it's more important for you to understand your numbers than it is for somebody that's on a salary or have a certain amount of income coming in, because guess what? Some days you might be making $10,000 a month and the next month you might be making $1,000. So you really have to understand your numbers.
Yes, that gets really complicated because, sometimes you can pay the credit card no problem. Other times you're going, maybe I should wait till next month for all of this. But that's why it's so important to have this personalized roadmap that you take your clients through. Let's walk through that a little bit.
So with our roadmap, really, we create a partnership with our clients. Clients can't achieve this alone. We can't achieve it without the help of their clients. So we're going to sit down with you. We're going to take a good look at your budget. We're going to take a good look at your assets. We're going to talk about your income, whether it fluctuates or not. And what we're then going to do is generate a detailed plan for you, a detailed outline of what your income looks like, both while you're earning if you're still working, and then into your retirement years when we're helping you put your money to work for you and you're paying yourself.
And do you factor in things like inflation, taxes? Because you could be in a different tax bracket from year to year, right? Based on your income, it changes.
That is correct. So there's so many moving parts. That's why people need help in order to understand what they need to do, because I wish I could tell you that the tax bill that we had when we were 22 years old just starting out is the same as it's going to be when you are 65 years old and making $100,000 in retirement, because you got a pension, you got Social Security, you got that 401k, RMDs, things like that to deal with. But things change over life. Life happens to you as long as you go along in life.
And a lot of us don't have a pension. I mean, like you guys said, 30% of people now maybe have pensions, and that's going down. So we can't look at that and say, okay, I've got this coming in. So you've got maybe your IRA, your Roth IRA, and then we're hoping to get Social Security. But when you reach retirement, how do you know you're going to have that consistent income?
Well, that's what this retirement roadmap is all about. And that's what if people call in today, this is kind of what they can expect. So let's talk a little bit about that. If they want to go through the roadmap process, this is a little package that we would send out to them. Inside of here, it's got a little bit of information about us, also a little information about the company, but also we'll have the homework for them, taking a look at their budget, the assets that they've saved, and that's what we require them to bring in for the first meeting. In the first meeting, what will happen is we just kind of gather up the data. A lot of people, they don't, how many times do people not have all the information in the first meeting, which is fine. You need to start off, if you can't get all the information, that's fine. Sometimes it's just for informational purposes. It's not in order to get the analysis completed, to get the roadmap completed. But this is what they can expect if they call today, if they want to go through the roadmap process, which we highly recommend. If they just want investment advice, we can do that as well. But to give you the best advice possible, the roadmap is the best route to go.
Let me see that box. I'm very curious as to what's in here. And oh, wow. You guys, okay. Ooh, there's a little booklet too. Okay, you got to call because this is really cool. And now you're probably wondering what's in the box, and you're saying everybody gets this?
Anybody who wants to go through the roadmap process will receive that. Yep.
I like this. I always like things to kind of help hold your hand as you go through processes like that. And so when you're looking at the roadmap, how detrimental is it to say, you know what, I'm a person who wings it. What's going to happen if I don't have a roadmap? Oh, well.
Well, I would say it to you this way. If your expenses are $4,000 a month, $2,000 a month, and you know that, but you don't know how much income you've got, so why are you spending $4,000 if you only got $2,000 coming in? Sooner or later, somebody's got to pay the piper. And that's why it's important, because you don't want to overspend what you have coming in, right, Scott?
Absolutely. You don't want to overspend. And I think the question that Cheryl asked earlier and the word she used in consistent hit it on the head. I mean, that's what this is going to do. It's going to help you understand and be consistent in retirement. And what do all retirees want? You don't want to worry about money. You don't want to worry about, can I afford to live the lifestyle I want to? We can help you live a consistent lifestyle and keep it within where you need to keep it.
Yeah, and you want the peace of mind. You want to be able to sleep at night, because the last thing you want to do is retire from work and now all you're doing is stressing about your money.
Yeah, and I feel like my parents love them. I feel like they're doing that, though. They're not really taking many vacations or spending a lot of money because they're waiting as long as they can to tap into Social Security. And so at that point, does it get better or not?
It all depends on the individual and their situation, because you have some people that can live off Social Security because they had a high-paying job, they got $3,000 or $4,000 coming in, but they were good at keeping their debt load down. But you bring up a very valid point. How do your parents know what's the best thing to do if they don't have something like this? Because you know, we have people that take their Social Security at age 62 because they can. That's the first time that they're eligible. However, if they're still working, they don't understand the detriment to them. Because now they got to start paying some back if they're making more money than a certain amount. So that's all the issues that we sit down and talk to people about, because most people don't understand it, right?
Yeah, all right. Well, I know we have some action items here for our viewers at home. Maybe my parents will call in. Hey, Mom, Dad, pick up the phone, because they can help you out here. What do they have to do?
So for the first 10 callers who have saved $250,000 or more, I'd like for you to call the number you see on your screen, 1-833-897-4845. What you'll receive is this package if you want to go through the retirement roadmap. And you'll get tax planning, you'll get information about IRAs. There's a lengthy list of things that you'll receive. Pick up the phone, give us a call. Everything will be done on a complimentary basis.
And I like the swag box too. I think I'm going to take one of those with me. All right, guys, we got to take a brief break here. But as Tim said, we're going to open up those phone lines. So if you'd like some personal advice about retirement planning and more, once again, call 833-897-4845. Coming up next, we will discuss 401k plans, Social Security, and more. We're going to break it all down for you. Stay with us.
Imagine the future you've been wanting all along. A world where your retirement income is covered and you don't have to worry. Your financial assets are protected, and you have an experienced team fighting every day to grow your assets. Imagine a company creating tax strategies and legacy plans to make sure your loved ones are protected no matter what happens. At Welcome Home Financial Partners, we're an experienced financial team with the right professional licenses and an unbreakable commitment to making our clients feel like family. Here you'll find determined, friendly faces in a world filled with obstacles and problems. We help plan your retirement income to ensure you won't run out of money in retirement. We build in protection to make sure your assets are covered on all sides. We focus on growing your wealth to combat inflation and rising cost of living. And we design tax strategies to help you avoid paying back what you shouldn't while protecting the people you love. Our team never stops fighting for you. With an unparalleled work ethic, we work hard because we know your future depends on it. We're proud to help you choose the life you want to live in retirement. Welcome to your financial future. We're so glad you're here.
Welcome back to Aspire to Retire. My parents might be one of those phones ringing right now because I know they're interested in this. So guys, what can our viewers expect by being one of the callers on today's show?
So one of the callers today, if they want to go through the retirement roadmap, they can expect to receive this nice little package in the mail. It'll have some more information about the company, about ourselves, but also some information that we need in order to do the roadmap. So a little bit of homework on their end, but in order to achieve this roadmap, there is some work to be done.
Yeah, and what, no pain, no gain is what they like to say. So
Absolutely.
It might be a little painful to
Yeah.
look at everything, but it's crucial to do this. And why is your firm different than a lot of others out there when you're looking at retirement and longevity planning?
Well, I think you hit it on the head. What we specialize in is retirement and longevity planning. We are here to help our clientele move throughout their retirement years, and that's where we focus and specialize. We don't spend a lot of time looking at a 20-year-old that is just working out. We're probably not the right firm for them, but people that approach retirement, we specialize in helping them achieve the retirement they want and sustain it for however long they choose to live.
They choose to live. I
Choose
like
to
how
live.
you say choose to live. Sometimes it's not really a choice, though.
So Scott, what do you mean by longevity?
Well, longevity, think about it.
Are we living longer these days?
We are living longer
there you
these
go.
days. We are definitely living longer these days. And if you think about longevity, you retire out at 65, 67, you've probably got 20 to 25 years in front of you where you've got to fund your own lifestyle.
And it used to be, if at 65, you probably lived about 1 or 2 years, so it wasn't a big deal how much money that you'd have, remember?
Right, and now you're thinking about things like long-term care and all of that planning as well, because you don't know how much money you're going to have to set aside. We can't just think, oh, I've got Social Security and I'm going to be good, because who knows what's going to happen with that. So with pensions going down, we're not seeing as many people with pensions anymore. Are you seeing more people with 401ks, IRAs? What's the difference now, and how are people planning?
Yeah, most people have just the 401ks, which that's not always the best strategy to use either, because most of the time, a lot of companies don't have the ability to take after-tax money or Roth funds and put it into your 401k. So if your 401k is just all pre-tax, you're going to have to pay taxes when you take your distribution. So if that is the only asset that you have, it is fully taxable. If you've got the ability to use a Roth IRA or save money in a non-qualified account, which just means after taxes, that would be the best strategy to go with. But most people don't have the pension anymore. Most people will have Social Security, but your 401ks and all the savings that you've got saved up, that's going to be your paycheck. Right?
Now with 401ks, I've got a question about this, because some companies will match up to a certain percent.
Right.
Should we always do the highest so they will match the highest, or does it depend on your budget?
So what I normally say is put in as much as they're willing to match you. But it depends on your situation.
Right.
But
Good.
why do we say that? When was the last time you gave up free money?
Gave up free money?
Yeah, because that's what's happening. If you don't go to the match of that company, you're giving up. If they would say $100 a pay period that they would match, and you don't put in $100, that's just like saying I've given up $100.
Leaving it on the table.
That's right. So
Yeah.
how many people would do that?
I wouldn't.
That's right. That's right.
But then we think, though, oh gosh, I can't afford to pay 3%, to take that out and put that into my 401k myself. So then they don't do it. They only do 1%, but then they're leaving money on the table. So how do you decide what to do?
Well, we talk to clients a lot about who does the client want to serve? Do they want to serve present day, or do they want to plan for the future? We need clients that are willing to plan for the future, maybe feel a little bit tighter now and contribute that extra 2% to get the full match, because all that's going to do is fund future you and help future you in your retirement years.
But I would also say, start out with something, and then as things continue to be better, but you got to have your numbers right, okay? So if you could say, start with 1%, the next year you've kind of done some things, got rid of some credit card debt, things like that, you might be able to put that 2% in, and then 3% the next time. So you can work at it and have something going on, but if you don't do anything, guess what? When you get to the end, you may not have anything to live off of.
Okay, that's when it gets really scary, and that's why this well-constructed retirement plan is so critical. So what's the difference between something like that or just something that you might get in the mail?
Well, they don't know anything about you, do they?
True.
So how many people that we've met that's got maybe $2,000 a month as expenses, and some people that's got $5,000 a month. So that person that's going to call in for the same plan, they're going to have two different results if they follow that cookie cutter retirement plan.
And one thing that I want all of our clients to know, and I tell to all of our clients, are their roadmap, what we help them design, that's a living and breathing document. So as they grow older with us and we continue to work with them, if something changes, we can modify it. We can show them exactly how that's going to affect them. So having the personalized plan, the personalized roadmap is imperative in your retirement.
Yeah, so this is a partnership. It's not just you have one meeting and then send people on their way. You can kind of check back in, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And the plans that people usually refer to, like if we ever talk to anybody and they say, well, I already have a plan, and they pull it out, they'll open it up and pull it out. It's just their statement. The statement on their 401k or their IRA or even their bank statement. And banks aren't going to pay you much money. So
Right.
that's what they focus in on. And people are always focused on just the investment. Well, that's not your retirement plan. So now, granted, you have to have investments to pull from to make a retirement plan, but that's not the number that you got to focus in on, because retirement's not about your assets, it's about your income.
Yeah.
You got to have your income for retirement.
And I know there can be some pitfalls too in retirement, and we touched on this a little bit, that sometimes people, they want to claim that Social Security as early as they can because they're going, ooh, money, I want to grab that. But is it true that if you wait longer, then you get more money?
That is correct. It just depends on what you're trying to do, because not everybody, it used to be 65, everybody's at magic 65.
Yeah.
Guess what? For some of the younger people, it's 67 now. Guess what? It may be 70 later on, we just don't know. But the longer you wait, at 67, 66, and so many months, depending on your date of birth, you're going to get more money than if you wait. And if you wait until age 70, that's going to be the maximum that you can. Not everybody can do that. Okay?
So true.
And it really depends, and like I tell people, it depends on what you are trying to do. If you're 62 years old, I would say don't claim it. But if you're 62 years old, got some health issues, that might be something to think about.
Yeah, health issues. I know that's something we all think about as we get older. And we've got to go to commercial break in a second. But first, I know we want to get people on the phone to get these Welcome Home Financial Partners boxes into their hands.
Yeah, so for the first 10 callers who call 833-897-4845, what they expect to receive would be a box to complete your roadmap. If you want Social Security maximization report, if you want information about IRAs, in order to complete this roadmap, it's on you to do the legwork. So give us a phone call. Once again, phone number 833-897-4845. And Cheryl, guess what? The best part is it's on the complimentary basis.
Ooh, I love the word free.
There you go.
That's a deal. My dad always said, Cher, you got to get a good deal. So you guys sound like a good deal to me. So keep those questions coming. After the break, we are going to take advantage of our lovely experts right here and answer your questions, give you guys some advice. So call 833-897-4845. Your burning questions are next.
It was the longest running bull market in history. Everything was looking up. While inverted yield curves pointed to a recession, the market kept going. And then, if you're planning to retire soon, that could spell bad news for your returns. Our team can help you better withstand the bear market. Now more than ever, you need a financial professional to stand with you. Visit our website to learn more about our services. You can call or email our office to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Welcome back to Aspire to Retire. We are here with Ralph, Tim, and Scott, and it's our favorite part of the show. It is time for your questions. Phones have been ringing, so let's get to it. Our first question comes from Tom in Hanover, and Tom says, when is the best time for me to claim Social Security? And I know we just talked about this one, Tom, so it depends. I don't know how old you are, but let's kind of rehash things real quick for Tom.
So there's certain strategies that you can use, right? The best thing is it's all going to be on the individual. Health comes into play big time, but
Yeah.
there's a Social Security maximization report that we can run which is very important because there are certain strategies that you can use to maximize your Social Security. So that didn't really answer the question, but if you come in and we talk, we can run those reports and then we can give you the best answer.
And I think that's the most important part right there, is it varies from person to person. So they need to ask the question, they need to raise their hand, they need to be working with someone that understands Social Security and will help them to decide when is the best time for them to make that claim.
It's all about that individual and what their goals are, their particular situation. There's no such thing as a canned answer to that question because we have to know what you're trying to accomplish. It's all about you, period.
Yeah, what are his goals? How old is he? What's his health like? You know, family, all that stuff that plays into it and a lot more. So, but yeah, that's a very good question. That's the $1 million question, I think. We all want to know that. All right, so we have Mary from Goochland. Mary says, all right, you've been talking about this, but what's the difference between a 401k and a pension plan? To me, I think pension plans are magic and they don't exist much anymore, but I might be wrong.
Well, the main difference is if you are lucky enough to have a pension.
See, lucky, magic.
Lucky enough to have a pension, you are going to have a defined income for your retirement years. Now, there's a whole lot of catches in there on how you claim that pension, so you need to be very careful. Now, with the 401k, you don't know. You've got a lump sum of money that you then have to generate your retirement income out of. So really, for Mary, I'd tell you, you need to give us a call. You need to schedule an appointment because we need to take a look at whether you have a pension or a 401k and how is it going to be best for you and your retirement to get where you want to be.
I would say also that the amount of money that you're going to receive as income in a pension is dictated by your employer. With 401k, it's dictated by you because how much money you save. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
There's also some companies out there that offer a lump sum pension option to where you could actually control, instead of taking a monthly defined benefit, you could take a lump sum, reinvest it, and then you can control how much money you're making.
I never thought of that. So it's kind of like if you were ever to win the lottery, do you take the lump sum or do you take the payout, right?
Very good example.
Yes.
Yeah.
But don't they always say take it all, take the lump sum, because then you can invest it how you want?
It depends on the situation.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
All right. I thought there was a,
That's why you need help.
yeah. Well, I might need help for other things. Too. No, I'm joking.
We won't go there.
Yeah, we won't go there. All right, next question. We've got Brenda from Petersburg. And Brenda says, how do I determine my income gap? And what do I do to fill the gap? Ooh, Brenda's digging deep.
I think it's pretty simple on how we determine the income gap.
Is
Fellas.
it?
I do. I think
All
you give
right.
us a call and we create the roadmap for you that's going to show you exactly what your income is compared to your expenses. If there's a gap there, then we can address how we're going to fill that gap for you.
What do you tell people? Give up Starbucks? Give up...
I don't do a lot of telling people to give things up. We talk about how are we going to maximize the assets we have so you can enjoy the Starbucks, so you can enjoy the I don't know. What do you enjoy, Tim?
Everything.
Okay.
The
Just
spa, the massages.
There we go.
Don't tell me to give that up.
I'm not.
Okay.
Well, it all depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, if you want a lot of money coming into you just because you need all those things, that's one thing. But most people, they need to understand they have to have a plan because operating by the seat of your pants in retirement is probably not a good strategy. Okay?
Nobody wants to do that. We all
Yeah.
want to have a plan. And I am a planner. I like to be prepared. So, yes, that is good. All right, Billy from Doswell is up next. Billy says, I hear speculation that Social Security is going bankrupt, and I'm afraid I will lose out on it. Is this true? This is such a good question because, Billy, I worry about the same thing.
Well, what I would say is there's always been speculation in anything that the government has to deal with. And yes, it's not going to be the same today as it will be 10 years from now. I can probably guarantee you that. What it's going to be like, we can't tell you. Just understand the way the numbers are. It's not looking real good these days, but they're probably going to have to make adjustments. Would you agree?
Some things are probably going to change. What changes, we don't know. Social Security is probably always going to be around. We just don't know what kind of capacity. Whether that's a reduced benefit, whether they increase the retirement age, we just don't know.
Well, they probably will increase the retirement
Right.
age.
So
Yeah.
we need to shift our mindset to focus on what we can control, right? What we can control is what you're spending, what you've got coming in, what your assets are, how much risk you have. Those kinds of things are what we need to shift our mindset to.
And it's good to have all different pots of income. So Social Security for a little bit here. Maybe you've got your IRA here. Maybe you're lucky and have your magic pension there.
Yep.
So lots of different ways to get it. All right. Cynthia from Richmond says, I paid taxes during my 42-year career. Do I still pay taxes in retirement? Dun, dun, dun.
So we get that a lot. A lot of people think once they hit a certain age or they hit a certain stage that they have to stop paying taxes. At the end of the day, it's all about the income. If you make a certain amount of income, you have to pay your taxes. Pretty much if you're making money, you're going to be paying taxes. And it's all based off how much.
So does Social Security count as income?
It does count as income. Now, it's not all fully taxed, but up to 85% of it could be taxed. So it just depends on the rest of your income.
And I think that's a great point, Tim, the way you answer that question. It could be. There's a lot of things in retirement taxation where it could happen. This may happen. That's why you need to work with financial planners to help understand that, to help you map out where you're going to be, what you're going to pay in taxes, how is it best to create that income.
Yeah, and there's something that I say to people that come in all the time is that we're not the sunshine and rainbow advisors, that we don't show you the best case scenarios. I like to look at things more worst case because that's a very good starting point. More than likely you're going to be better off than that, but we don't want to give you false hope to where, oh, everything's lovely and the market goes down or whatever, taxes increase, and then now what we were projecting is now not what's going to happen. So we don't want to give you that false hope. We like to give you a good starting point. More than likely you're going to be better off than that.
Yeah, false hope. Nobody wants that. And the whole sunshine and rainbows thing. I mean, I like sunshine and rainbows, but it sounds like you can provide that too, right? Because you guys are fun to be around.
Right, but as far as the numbers go, we don't want to be the sunshine and rainbows.
I know. You got to get serious and get down into the
You
weeds
have to be realistic
with
about it.
everything. But
Yeah.
I never understood the importance of a financial planner until, honestly, talking to you guys is really helping me go, I probably should get somebody to help me because I just kind of wing it right now, and that's not something you should do. So what should our viewers do to take advantage of your expertise?
So for the first 10 callers that call 833-897-4845, what they'll expect to get is a package in the mail to go through the roadmap. We'd love for them to call. There's various ways that we can help, but Cheryl, the best thing is we'll do it on a complimentary basis, and we would love the opportunity to sit down in the office with them.
All right, so you get that free consult. That's what everybody wants here. Take advantage of this, guys. That wraps up today's show. So thank you again for joining us today on Aspire to Retire. Next time, we're going to talk all about long-term care and enhanced planning. Trust me, you don't want to miss that episode. If you'd like some advice, once again, call right now at 833-897-4845, and you could be featured on our next episode. On behalf of all of us at Aspire to Retire, I'm your host, Cheryl Nelson. Have a great day.